In this video, I'll show you how easy it is to get the Figaf IRT tool up and running and connect it with your CPI system, create a Git repository and synchronize it and run the data there. So the first thing is you want to go and download IntelliJ. You can find the link here. You can use the community edition fine. You obviously need to install Java also. And once you've done that, you can go to the Figaf IRT site and you can enter your name, email, marketing material, and select I'm in. And you will then get access to the site. Here you got the manual. You can read the course about how this works, and obviously you can also find the data there. So you simply say download, and here you can find the latest releases. And what you'll do is you will simply download this file. So I've downloaded the file, placed it in a directory, cd to it, and then I just run the command java jar and the file name. And then the application will start up. It comes with a built-in database and a lot of information, or everything that you need. So it's just everything contained in this Java application. It will create the database and stuff like that. And once that is done, you would get information that you can then log into localhost 1893, I think it is, /IRT. So now we are running. Default user is super user, password is default. Default but lowercase. The first thing we want to do is we want to set up our agents, and the first thing we want to do is we want to set up our CPI system. It's CPI, and our URL is this. Our host is this, and we can select it if it's productive system. It's not, and we also want just to be able to test data on it. And the best way is just to find an iFlow. We have here. This is our so let's first save it. So now it's been created. Let's just test that it works. So we'll test our configuration, and it works. So this is good. Now we can go and see our tracked object. So we can press synchronize. This will download all the different iFlows we have in our application, and it will take a little while. So that's fine. And we can see we have connection. Everything works. So we want to go back to our agent. And here we got our CPI system. We want to enable Git integration, and then it asks us for a remote repository URL. And for this, I would just want to use my SAP Git repository. So we can go into the SAP trial account. You can create a new Git repository, and we are on IRT CPI 4. Create empty commit, so that's fine. So we will then select it here. We will select this URL. And where do you want to have the local repository? Otherwise, it will just show it in the local path. We'll deliver to master. We will just use our username and password here again. We can enable our automatic synchronization. But for now, let's just skip that. So now it's been done, and we have this here about creating repository. So this will then do a synchronization again, but because we already have synchronized it, it will take, it'll be a lot faster to run the synchronization and create our Git repository. So we can then go to ours. Here we have the repository browser. Here we can see all the data that it is in this repository, and sometimes it does take a little while before the data is available and you can see what's going on in it. So let's just see if it's there. So at least now we can see this has been done. And what we want to do is then we want to say here in our IntelliJ checkout, it's a Git project, and we will then enter this URL we got up here to it. Clone. And it should assumably ask for a password, username, password. It says here there's this Gradle thing. Do you want to open it? Yes. Maybe it is actually because I already have created it and it has some of the data there. Now it complains that says here you need to have Gradle installed, and you can find Gradle at Gradle somewhere. And then you just link to the directory where it is, and let me just find mine, just a sec. So I've just downloaded and extracted in a folder. So now it is opening the project. And we can see we have the project here. And it will then show us all the different iFlows we have. And we can see that all the data that is relevant for this to work. So this is pretty cool. But now we really haven't done much yet. We need to configure these things. So we first have this build thing that would include all the Gradle plugins that we need to use. And the best way to do that is just to copy the file, paste it, and then remove this IRT. And the good thing is then once we are coming with new properties, users can just fill in this data and we're good to go. So they can just copy it again from these things. And the last thing we need is this file. That we also need to copy. So now we have done all of these different things. There is somewhere we need to make sure that it knows this is a Gradle plugin. So the trick is to go and find this build environment. Let's try then the refresh again. And we can see here it's compiling all these different things. And now we can see we added quite a number of other tasks to the project. And what this means is we can now actually edit these things. So let's just see this demo accessing XSLT. So if we go here, we can see that's under the demo, accessing XSLT. There's a source here. We can see the script. We can see there's a mapping here. There's one that says edit header mapping. And let's just, for the sake of it, add a new XML to it. So that would not work. We obviously need to change this XML. So now we have made a change to this. And one thing we just need to do is we would need to go into our, not the build, but the Gradle properties, and here we want to insert our CPI username and password, and once we've done that we will save this file again. So let me just do. So now I have made this change and added the configuration, and this Gradle property is normally not synchronized in the Git, so nobody else would actually get access to it, so everybody needs to edit this themselves. What we'll then have is there's actually these things. So here we've created an example of what kind of workflow you have and how it works, and you can then call these individual. So you can either just say, hey, I want to download the content, what's the current one, I want to deploy content, or I just want to upload this. So the upload will then upload data into it. It will take a little while, so it took 1 second. Then we got a deploy option that will actually deploy this specific iFlow, making sure that it is deployed and So it says deployment failed. Okay, so the reason why we're getting this error is that the iFlow is not ideal for this kind of testing. And here you are actually getting some errors, and that means we cannot really deploy it. So what you want to do is you can actually go in here and see we have actually uploaded this all from our IDE, and if the tool had been successful, we would be able to deploy it. So let me just try another one. I guess we can deploy something else like the FSD here. So let's just open this. So we'll just edit this. So here we have some scripts in. There's a script one, and we'll just set a new property. Set number 5. Save. And we can run full flow, or we can run any of these things. So let's just do the build, the upload, and then let's do the deploy. If I had created test cases, I could then go into this Gradle properties. It's here, and here I can put in the test suite ID or the name that I'm getting from the IRT application. Then it will actually run it and say what was the error that we're getting here. So to run them, you just need to use this run test suite. And now we can see that the first part was successful. Once we have, sometimes when we have been doing this, we have seen that it's not really deployed. So you want to wait until the deployment is this is finished, and this is also the same. You can see from in here. So here we can see that the status is done. So there are something to consider how do you actually do these things. And one of the things is where do you want to commit the changes to. So I can from in here, from my IntelliJ, I can go in and say I can go commit directory. It says here's all the files that we have edited as a part of this, and we have these unversioned file we just ignore. First. So we are just saying, hey, these are the changes we want to make. It shows you what actually has been done. It says some warnings, just say commit. And then it will create a commit, and you can then do oh, we forgot. There's a one that says commit, and so you also want to do repository push to upload the data. So now we can see that the iFlow is started, and we can then run our tests. And here it says here what are the things you want to push to upload. And then we want to need to log in. So now I got that filled in, and if I go back here to the IRT or the Git repository, we can see that there was this commit where we have changed these two files. So let me just do a version of this FSD we had here. It's in the demo. It was FSD, so we'll just create here, edit. Save as version, so we'll save it as 25. So we have now saved as 25. We can, in the Figaf IRT tool, we can do a synchronization, and then it will find that there's actually a new version. And with that, yeah, well, there's two scripts that have been changed, some mappings, stuff like that, so that's fine. And this will then also push these changes to the Git repository. So if we go back and just wait a little while, we should be able to see that there's actually some people that updated these two things. It was all of these things that were changed as a part of this difference. So we know these were the things that was actually changed in this this process, and we can use the. So this is how the flow works. We can then use the Figaf IRT tool to transport the specific iFlow. So we can assign to a ticket. So a ticket is our way of handling processes. And once we have that, we can also create a transport. So we'll just create a simple transport. If we created a landscape, so we can actually transport this individual object along the way. But this shows you how easy it is to set up the Figaf IRT tool, create a Git repository, download it, and set everything up. And it took 18 minutes. And showing some of the functions and features that this accounts for. So I hope this has been helpful and something you want to try out. Go to figaf.com/IRT and try it out. Thank you.